This is Mass X with Who Would Have Thunk It, another One Punch Man the Strongest video. It's back online, and before we start this video, I want to make it clear that this is only a stay of the current law. Please be fully informed while playing over the next 60 to 90 days. Based on what occurs, it could be shut down again. It might well live on into infamy. But again, please be aware that Moonton has no control over this. This is an issue between ByteDance and the US government and the law that was put in place. If something cannot be figured out, what had previously occurred could occur again. So make sure if you are going to play that you understand this, so there is no shock in 60, 65, 70 days if for some reason it did have to shut down. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and play. I'm going to tailor back everything I do, and I'm just going to follow the news and go from there. To me, it's that simple. Also, I want to see how the player base responds. And, you know, my decision could change in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. We will just have to see. But at this point, we are going to move forward. And we know at the time that this went back online that we know what our remaining characters are for the SSR Plus era are going to be for February. There's absolutely no shockers here, and I want to make something else very clear when I get to it. But first off, of course, our limited banner will be SSR Plus Metal Knight. We will talk about that character in a moment. We will be getting a rerun of the Zombie Man SSR Plus, and we will have the Awaken Wheel, which you will be able to choose between Extreme Superalloy Darkshine and Dream Subterranean King. Now, I've already seen people bitching and moaning about the wheel and Superalloy Darkshine being in it. If you know anything about this game and its history, then you should know that Superalloy Darkshine was part of the wheel with the Taiwanese version. Yes, C didn't do it that way, but originally that's how it was structured. Since day one, we have followed closer to the Taiwanese version than we had to the C version, so this is not a shocker. You can be as upset as you want, but if you had paid attention to the history, you would know the likelihood would be that it would be part of the Awakening Wheel. And that goes back to what I said at the beginning. If you are not happy with the developers, if you are not happy with the game, if you're not happy about the current situation, anything, don't play. Okay? Your moaning and groaning isn't going to change anything right now. We have no control over what's going to occur. And on that note, there are millions of games out there. You can find something else to play. So this was written in stone probably in the beginning for the most part. They have followed the Taiwanese version very closely, more closely than C. So sorry guys, it's part of the wheel. I wish I could be more sympathetic on this issue, but honestly, we've just been through a roller coaster ride with this game. And it's not just this game, it's all of Moonton's products, as well as other products of ByteDance, for instance, Snap. I mean, there's a plethora of these games that were affected by this. This is not only a One Punch Man the Strongest issue, and we are very low on that scale of their portfolio of what these games make. So also keep that in mind as this moves forward. But let's take a close look at these characters and my initial thoughts on how you should be going forward in this game. Well, of course, first off, we're going to talk about SSR Plus Metal Knight. This character, of course, is high-tech. He's a hero. He's got AoE stun, corrosion immunity, which we will talk about. His basic attack Deals damage for a single target with 4 consecutive strikes for 120% of attack. His ultimate, Fire Support, deals damage to all enemies with 5 consecutive strikes for 300% attack. When attacking more than 3 targets, each additional enemy increases damage by 100% attack. In the first 5 rounds, 100% chance to inflict main target and enemies in the same column with specialized stun. For 1 round, unable to take actions and permanently reduces attack by 30%. A max of 4 characters in the team can be stunned at the same time. The passive for this character, when battle begins, grants self and surrounding allies immunity to corrodes/specialized corrode. Effects for 5 rounds, permanently increases own HP by, of course, an amount of points that will be a sliding scale. The Awaken passive, when the battle begins, permanently increases own instant damage evasion by 45%. Direct damage, extra damage, charge damage, and berserk damage only deal 1 point of damage. Additionally, nullifies all enemies. Consecutive follow-up for the remainder of the battle. Now, discussing the expansion of this character, the Ultra Ultimate, your damage attack will go to 450%, which is a 150% increase. Additional enemy damage increase goes to 150%, which is a 50% increase. Specialized stun to same row goes to surrounding characters. So yes, it's going to be very important to really invest in this character. Extreme passive, immunity to corrode for 5 rounds. That will go to permanently. 5P passive, immunity to corrode for himself and surrounding allies, goes to all allies. If you awaken 2, the evade will go to 60%. The additional effect after any character acts for every enemy in specialized stun increases specialized protection of all allies by 100% of Metal Knight's attack 3 times per round. Specialized stun is not affected by SSR plus Metal Bat, SSR plus Gogetsu, and SSR plus Melzagard. Combos from SSR plus Deep Sea King and Ultimate Follow-Up from Cruel Tactic can inflict specialized stun. So let's talk about first a quick overview on setup. This character is going to require, at least in my opinion, fully maxing, okay? You are going to want to get the keepsake. You're going to want to 5P this character without a doubt to maximize what this character can do, because the point of this character is going to be to shut down your opponent, and the only way you're going to be able to shut down your opponent on all avenues is by doing this. So you're going to want to expand your specialized stun. You are going to want to have the corrode immunity permanently. I mean, it's just that simple. You're going to want it to affect your entire team, the corrode immunity. You need to do this. You need to build this character if you plan to use it, or in my opinion, it's a waste. Yes, you will get some stuns, but you are going to get demolished by somebody that has one fully built. Now, everything scales off of attack for this character, so attack is going to be key with this character. 2 things you have to think about with this character: attack and speed. That's all you care about, and that's what you want to build this character to do. He is most likely going to be on your back line also. He's going to want to be paired with your speedster. All these things keep in mind. We'll do a deep dive into equipment and team setups, but the point of the matter is, this is one of those characters that, yes, I would recommend if you are even thinking about it, but only if you can get the keepsake, only if you can get it up 5P and have the resources to really maximize this character. He's stellar. He changes the meta. Just a nice push. But with that being said, URs will be coming then in March. If you have already been biding your time to save, and you can bide your time a little longer, if you're free to play, you may want to hold off and fully invest when the time comes in URs, because that will be the be-all end-all in this game. Now for the wheel, we found out we have Superalloy Darkshine as well as Dream Subterranean King. We're going to do Dream Subterranean King first. Why? Because most people will not even consider this character. It's a duelist, it's a monster, all breakthrough, specialized burn. Now looking at what this character could do, the basic attacks a single target with 2 consecutive strikes, dealing damage by 120%. The ultimate Lava Infernal attacks all enemies with 4 consecutive strikes for 240% attack. Damage triggers breakthrough, instantly removes target's damage ignoration granted by unyielding type effect. Each attack against per target triggers only once. Evolve immediately cancels the target's unyielding ignore damage status. For the passive, when battle begins, grants specialized guard by 800% of attack, absorbs incoming damage up to 1500% of original max HP, removes extra HP effects, permanently increases own HP by 20. Specialized guard negates damage received. This effect overwrites extra HP effects. The total amount cannot exceed 15 times the original HP. And finally, the awakened passive has a 50% chance to inflict the target with specialized burn with 150% attack as DOT, and disappears after in effect for 3x times. After action of any character, it transfers to targets that damage can be dealt to, absorbs specialized burn taken by enemy, and recovers self. With specialized burn, 150% of attack and continuous damage, disappears after activating 3 times, transfers to target that can take damage after any character moves. For this character, the ultimate goes to 400% attack. If you do that, that is a whopping 160% increase. The extreme passive, the specialized protection, will go to 1500%. The 5P passive, specialized protection, will go to 2200%. That's 700% increase. The awaken 2, the inflict chance, goes to 90% over 50, which is huge. The specialized burn DOT goes to 200% and permanently grants 30% bonus ult damage. Now, in talking about specialized burn, it can be affected by hit percent and resistance. Keep that in mind if you're going to build this character. Specialized burn will first transfer the characters which are not in any unyielding state. It can be stacked up to 6 times. The burn can also be transferred to revived and resurrected characters. It can be affected by a formal set, and it's not affected by evade. All good things to take in mind, but most people are not even going to consider this character, even though I'm going to do separate breakdowns for these characters. But I actually like this character. It's a shame it's being put in a dual wheel with Superalloy. Now, this is a character a lot of people have been waiting for, Superalloy Darkshine. Now, this character is a grappler and a hero. Shield enhancement, group damage reflect. For the basic, you're going to get a single target hit for 120% of attack. For the ultimate, deals damage to a target row with 4 consecutive strikes for 120% of max HP. Additionally, gain specialized guard equal to 150% of max HP to counter damage received. This effect overlays additional HP effects. This amount cannot exceed 15 times the original HP of Superalloy. For the passive, when battle begins, grants a 55% shield rate to all allies for 3 rounds, revives with 20% max HP after taking fatal damage up to 2 times. And the awakened passive, when battle begins, give all allies specialized damage reflect. When receiving direct damage and extra damage, reduces it by 40% and returns 40% of the original damage to the attacker as extra damage, which lasts until the end of the battle. So, let's talk about what you get when you build this character. The ultimate damage by HP percent goes to 160%, so that is, only 40%. The specialized guard goes to 200%, so that's only 50%. The S guard for allies in the same row, which is nice. The extreme passive shield rate only goes to 65%, and it goes to 4 rounds over 3 for the extreme passive. The 5P passive takes the shield rate to 75%, a 10% increase. It lasts 5 rounds instead of 4, and your revives go from 2 to 3. At Awaken 2, you reduce damage goes to 60% versus 40. The Reflect goes to 60% versus 40, and grants the whole team specialized Berserk. First Strike will also deal berserk damage by 50% of Superalloy Blackluster's max HP with a chance of crit. Lasts the whole battle. So yeah, needless to say, you're thinking HP percent with this gear, kind of like what we were talking about previously with Metal Knight. It's going to be attack percentage is going to be the main stat. For Superalloy, it is all about the HP percent. That's it. Period. End of story. Now, looking over this now, we know the 3 characters that are going to be coming. Superalloy does have some pluses over the others. You don't have to go crazy on Superalloy to make the character effective for your team. So yes, would it be nice to get the keepsake into 5p? Yes, but you don't have to. You can just load this character up with the most HP gear you've got out of all your sets and throw him out there, and he's going to do what he does and do it very well. He is the next step up from Tank Top Vegan. He's going to replace, your TTM Plus, etc. He's a solid character, no doubt about it. So in the grand scheme of things, just on a very superficial basis, to me, the sad part is Superalloy is in the wheel, which would have been probably the easiest for a free-to-play player. If they would have flip-flopped and Metal Knight was in the wheel and Superalloy would have been the banner, I would have probably said pull. Don't go crazy, but it's going to be a very effective character for you, because all you really care about in the end is the specialized guard as well as the shield rate for the most part. But that's not what we have here. So if you can't get the wheel, then we already know now it takes off Superalloy and it takes off Dream Subterranean King. Do you get Metal Knight? I think that's a personal decision you're having to make given the current state of the game, knowing that much better characters are coming for the UR era. So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. I mean, what should happen is in March we are going to get Terrible Tornado. So, and that will be our first UR. So again, just keep all that in mind. Personally, if I was free to play, I would probably suffer through one more month and then be planning out my attack for the rest of the year for URs. But I can honestly say I highly recommend Metal Knight. But Metal Knight will fall off in the UR era. I mean, currently, I don't even think the character registers as a second tier character, where Superalloy will still be an S rank character. Same goes with Dream Subterranean King. It's even lower. It's probably considered C tier or less at this point. The only one that really has legs to it is going to be Superalloy. So yeah, sadly enough, out of anything, that would be the biggest recommendation. Metal Knight as a distant second, based on if you're free to play or a light spender. Again, I'm just going to say it. URs are around the corner. The characters are going to be way better. Save if you're free to play. Why bother? You can start going hard on UR characters unless you really want that Metal Knight, then go for it. You should always pull what you want to. But this video has gone on way too freaking long because I've had to deal with 3 characters as well as the ramifications of this game coming back online. I will do separate videos for each character, but in the end, just be fully informed and make decisions that are based on you and not anybody else telling you what to do. With that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.